Guys, I'm worried my ears are broken for some reason, but I'll back up a minute. While I was wrapping up recording the Tailosive Tech podcast last week, I typically use my AirPods Pro because, well, they're pros. They're more expensive, they're newer, they're nicer and everything, so why wouldn't you use the pros if you had access to them? But the battery was getting low, so I decided as a last-minute resort to put them away, and I just pulled out my old dusty AirPods 2, which I hadn't used in probably like a year, and I put them on, and suddenly it sounded better. But how? Let's begin. So after this took place, I decided to start using AirPods 2 a tad more regularly, which I didn't think was going to be a thing I needed to do. I've had these since March of 2019, and I used them quite a bit that year, but ever since AirPods Pro came out, I was doing my best to kind of use those as much as I could, and certainly, they have improved. Apple finally got the firmware down with AirPods Pro, and I still love active noise cancellation, particularly on flights, which I've done twice since buying AirPods Pro, thanks pandemic. But once I put regular AirPods in my ears again, I realized that they don't clog up my ear canals as much, and the bass was actually feeling a tad richer, or maybe just a tad heavier is the right terminology. So I'll disclose once again, if there's anybody new here, I'm not an audiophile, okay? I don't review high-end headphones. I've tried the quarter-inch jack headphones in the past and tried to listen to high bitrate sound. I really do not notice the difference. In fact, I might be the exact opposite of what an audiophile is. Not just like a guy who doesn't care about sound quality, but a guy that might honestly prefer cheaper sounding audio, because I've heard from many people in the past that regular AirPods don't sound as good as AirPods Pro, and AirPods Pro have better sound quality overall. But because I was so fascinated by how the sound quality was improved, in my opinion, when I switched over to regular AirPods, I started going back and forth this morning. I was listening to music on AirPods Pro, then switching over to regular AirPods, going back and forth and going back and forth, and I realized that AirPods Pro, I think I understand why audiophiles prefer it more, because it feels more balanced between the mids, the highs, and the lows. It feels like you can hear every piece of the song put together, and what I noticed people picking up on is that the regular AirPods, because they don't have a rubber seal, and because they don't have active noise cancellation, they're doing their best to kind of block out external audio through bass instead of a rubber seal, because as you guys know, once you turn off music on regular AirPods, it basically feels like you're not wearing headphones at all. This is far more comfortable in my ear, and it feels like they just blend into my background. I cannot feel them in my ear at all. They never fall out. I never have to really adjust them much. AirPods Pro, you're getting a more rounded audio experience where you can hear every single level of the sound playing, and I can hear a bit more of the lower frequencies being picked up on AirPods Pro. I don't even know if that's true. I just noticed it. But maybe because, I grew up with this type of earpod design. I remember when Apple first unveiled it with the iPhone 5. That was my first iPhone, actually. Maybe my ears weren't fully developed yet, but it certainly felt more natural. It felt better to have this type of design back in my ear again, and I do think it's safe to say that different types of audio quality can be, subjective. It can be dependent on the person. Maybe some of us want a more well-rounded audio experience where we can hear every level very clearly, but some of us might have the, McDonald's level of ears. Some people like a real fine steak, and some people are like, you know what, let's just grab some fries and a burger. I think I might be the fries and a burger guy, if you couldn't tell by my tummy pouch that I intentionally keep off camera. And this is essentially what that is. It's cheaper. I know the sound is more basic, and it puts a overemphasis on bass, but I think I'm such a big fan of songs that have bass, and I'm so used to that feeling more premium in my childhood that, if you could hear a lot of bass, that meant that you had good headphones. And I know that may technically be incorrect now, but I just like it for some reason, and I'm confused because as a AirPods Pro owner, I feel like I should be leaning to go more towards the Pro because those are better. Those have the Force stem, they look more modern, they look more futuristic, they come with multiple rubber tips, more customization. But hey, the AirPods original case is still, more compact, it's smaller, fits in my pocket a tad easier. My ears feel like they can breathe, which isn't a thing, I know, but still, I just feel like like more sweat buildup when I have those rubber tips. These are definitely easier to clean, and I also feel that the case opening mechanism is much easier and much more simple with the basic AirPods, opposed to the, you know, sideways elongated lid. These also feel like they snap into the case a tad easier. With AirPods Pro, you kind of gotta push them into their charging area just right, whereas with these, they just, you know, snap in exactly how they're supposed to. So the design is kind of dated, and Apple's done very little with them for a long time, but I just thought I'd keep you guys posted. I've been using these a lot more regularly, and other than, of course, active noise cancellation, which is purely better, and if I'm mowing the lawn or going on a flight, I'm definitely going with AirPods Pro. But for pretty much anything else, the fact that I can hear my environment around me so easily, and I don't have to fuss around with noise cancellation or transparency mode and decide which one, and that the bass kind of blocks out external audio pretty well anyway, I find myself going back. Am I the only one feeling like this? Am I the only one with cheapo McDonald's ears? It would help my self-confidence if there were other people out there that have tried both and decided that the original AirPods still work better for them. So please feel free to let me know. This is important. And this is your Apple Sheep. I'll see you guys in the next one.